The week of rapid, speedy manifestation is here, okay? If you have been working the past week with all the Aries energy and leverage the new moon for action and behind the scenes action, maybe a little dispersed action, this week it's going to be a little bit different, but fruits of your labor. Okay. My name is Maril. I am a coach and astrologer. I have been coaching for over a decade and doing astrology charts for over 3 decades. And I like to leverage both of these to help you understand yourself, your strengths, your purpose, your soul's choices for all the things that you came here to do on this planet at this time, and then help you also achieve all of those and ground them here. And this is a fantastic week for that, okay? This is astrology for the week of April 20th, 2026. So let's get to it. We're coming into the week with already the sun in the sign of Taurus. So we are going from having been in all of the Aries season energy of action, Jackson, action, 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 with all of the planets and Chiron in the new moon that we had the week before. And all of that energy may have made you feel a little frazzled, especially if you are an Aries. Maybe you felt like, I know one, very special Aries in my life said, I just felt that I woke up Friday with electricity in my body. There's just so much fire, so much energy in the sign of Aries. There is so much going on in one sign that if you are that sign, Aries, or if you're maybe a Sagittarius or a Leo, also fire sign, you're feeling it, okay? We're leaving that, okay? As the sun leaves, as the moon leaves that, and then the sun leaves it as well, we're shifting into Taurus energy. And now we're stepping into deliberate, more disciplined, more intentional, more stable, more grounded action. Okay, we still have all these planets in the sign of Aries. So you still have your Saturn, your Neptune, your Mars, your Mercury. You've got all these guys in there playing together. Okay, in fact, the Monday starts with a trio, a fantastic trio from Sunday to Monday, going into Tuesday, which is Mercury, the mind and the verbal expression, Mars, the planet of action, and Saturn, the planet of discipline and of mastery, all working together in the 7th, 8th degree of Aries. Okay, so this is your triumvirate. This is your thought meets word meets deed. This is your congruence window. Okay, so you think it, you say it, you do it. You think it, you say it, you do it. We know that this is the magic, and of course the feeling coming into it as well, right? We create through emotion, we create through feeling, energy and motion. But you're going to have this triangle of congruence between Mercury, the mind and the expression, and Mars, the action, the deed, and the discipline and the sort of the push, sort of the boundaries that and the mastery that Saturn wants to give you. And they're all working together at the beginning of the week. Okay, so you start off with a lot of oomph, but it's not dispersed oomph. It's not that Aryan energy that we felt in the past month or so. It's the oomph to do things deliberately. Okay, it's the umph to do things focused. It's the umph to do things for you to then get stability. That is a key word for Taurus season. So starting with this Sunday, Monday, we're going to carry through that energy through for the next 30 days. Okay, Taurus season is the next 30 days until around 19th, 20th of May. And we have that feeling of, okay, if I have been doing all the things that I'm supposed to be doing, if I took action with all the Aries energy, with the full moon, with the new moon, with all this Aries energy that I've had for the past month with Aries season, then now in Taurus season and beginning with this week, I'm evaluating, value is a key word for Taurus, evaluating, enjoying, pleasure is a big thing for Taurus, the what I earned, the earned fruits of my labor. Okay, so if this was you, if you took action, if you did the thing as I've been telling you that you were supposed to be doing, then you will see some of your stuff quickly manifested. Some of your the stuff that's more worthy of you, the stuff that makes you feel worthy is going to begin to show up slowly. Slow is a key word for Taurus. Slowly, but because it's combined with this Aries energy in all these other planets, it's sort of not as slow as typical Taurus energy. Also, because the end of the week, we will be stepping into Uranus in Gemini. It's stepping out of the Taurus energy, and so is Venus, and we're stepping more into Gemini. Okay, a little more in a second on that. So you have all this beautiful energy to start the week. It's intentional stuff. It's deliberate moves. It's grounded moves. Keep moving, but think about it. Talk about it. Maybe plan it a bit. Maybe feel a little deeper into it before you do it. Okay. And maybe exercise a little bit of discipline if that's the way you like to do things, because I know some people are like, well, discipline's not my thing. Maybe I'm neurodivergent. Maybe I do things differently. Totally got it. There's got to be some way that you can leverage this energy that involves Saturn that wants to slow down just a tiny bit so that you can maybe put some feet on the ground and try to bring a little bit of that just plain old grounding energy of Taurus into your action. Okay. Do it your way, but do it. And the reason I tell you this is not so that you don't, do it in your own way. Sagittarius, hear me out. I know you guys have your own ways of doing everything. The reason I tell you is so that you can leverage the energy available to you. That's the point of these weekly forecasts, is for you to be like, all right, what am I working with this week? Well, we have this over here and that over here. It's like creating a soup, right? Well, I'm hungry. What have we got to work with? I'm going to have to eat. So what is my menu? This is so Taurus energy, okay? Because Taurus loves food for pleasure. And so what do I have to eat? Well, I have these vegetables, I have some carrots, I have some celery, maybe I have some chicken over here, maybe I have some onions and garlic and stuff. Okay, so, maybe you're like, well, what I'm going to eat is a lasagna. And I'm like, well, as your astrologer, I'm going to tell you, none of the stuff that I mentioned is pasta or tomato sauce or cheese or anything like that. How about a chicken soup with all this other stuff? It's just as delicious and nutritious and whatever. And, you will leverage what's available to you, and it'll be so much easier, and you will flow and you'll go with the current. You're downstream, as Abraham Hicks loves to say, right? Downstream. You're not trying to like swim upstream and make it really hard for yourself. This is how you make it easier. We already have so many difficult things on the planet, coming at us stress-wise, and probably in your daily life with, be it relationships or work or health or whatever, health itself. If we want to gain muscle, we have to push through other things. Okay, fantastic. Put that energy there. But with this, let's see what you can leverage so that you can maybe cruise a little bit and maybe put the energy and the effort where you're going to be maximizing that and really, really taking full advantage and growing rather than forcing your way through things. Okay, this is the point of power. This is like your David Hawkins force versus power, where he explains it, and I just absolutely love all of his stuff. I use it in my coaching all of the time. If you haven't seen the scale of levels of consciousness, you're missing out, or you're not even missing out. You're not even in this era, because this stuff is for this era. Okay, so look it up. David Hawkins, Power versus Force is the first book, the main book. Levels of consciousness. A lot of people have adopted his scale, but it basically goes like this. There's a point in which there's a threshold where all the levels below, you are forcing things. You're forcing your way through things. Things feel difficult. It's not coming to fruition for you. Above that threshold level, which is the level of courage, okay, that level of consciousness of courage, of really, doing things, even if you're afraid, doing things because you have a reason to do them. That level and above, you're in your power. Things become a lot easier. You're not forcing your way or putting extra weight where you don't need to put it. That is what these forecasts do. That is what astrology helps you do as well. You're understanding what is happening at the moment, and you are working with it rather than against it. And whatever energy you have, which we don't have infinite energy, we have a certain amount of energy in a given day, just like a certain amount of hours in a given day. you can then maximize that. It's an optimization thing. It's an efficiency thing. It's a do more with less thing, which is awesome. Okay. So let's continue. And then I'll give you an example too, how this worked out for me. As at the time that I am recording this video, because it was fascinating with the new moon in Aries. Okay, so you've got all this energy that wants to ground your action. It wants to take your action and, step into rapid manifestation. It really wants to bring things to fruition. It really wants you to enjoy the fruits of your labor. It wants you to value what you have put all this effort into. And it wants you to think about how you're going to continue doing all this stuff, whatever you need to get done for be it your business or your launch or your project or your new relationship or wherever this may have fallen in your chart, all of this Aries energy. And to keep moving in a deliberate, intentional way, more grounded way, more physical way. Okay. That's the beginning of the week. Midweek, you're stepping into Wednesday and Thursday. We have Venus, the planet not just of love, but also of many other things, style, beauty, etc., but of finances as well, of self-worth, of what we value, okay? In a conjunction at 29 degrees Taurus with Uranus. Uranus is about to change signs for the next 7 years. You probably, if you're into astrology, you've heard this everywhere. Uranus in Gemini, 2026, Uranus in Gemini, everybody's explaining it, okay? We're going to touch on it here. Uranus has been in the sign of Taurus for many years, and this has been Uranus is the planet of change, of innovation. It's a planet of point of no return change, okay? We call it like your moving house. You can't go back to your old apartment. You're already living in a different place. That's what Uranus does. Now, it's been in Taurus, which is the sign of its fall. It doesn't like it. What do I mean by fall? Planets have signs that they feel either they rule, so they feel really at home, or they're in really good energy, they feel really comfortable in. Okay, that would be exaltation. And then it's the opposite of this. It's signs that it's the opposite of the one that it rules, so it doesn't feel good. And then it's the opposite of the one where it feels really good. And that we call the sign of fall. And that is a sign where the planet feels the most restricted. That's what Uranus has been doing in Taurus. So imagine the planet of innovation and change and shift and before and after change in the sign that hates to change. Taurus is the immovable mountain. If you know a Taurus who has a lot of Taurus energy, not just Taurus with maybe a lot of Gemini energy in their chart, but a true Taurus, you know that there is absolutely no way that you're going to move that person or change their mind if they don't want to. There's nothing you can do. Okay. And so this has been this has been the past few years with the planet of change grinding through the energy that is Tauran energy, which is finances, which is ecology. Okay. Because this is global stuff. Taurus represents planet Earth. And so stepping now into Gemini at the end of the week, Saturday, Sunday, things are going to feel very different. We have already, Pluto stepped into Aquarius back and forth between 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, that's where your chat GPTs came in, all your, Claudes and all your AIs. Well, Gemini, it's a sign of social media, communication, transportation, and mental processes and consciousness. As we shift into this, okay, we're going to feel like AI is no longer anything new or even optional. It's just a part of life. Right before that, midweek, that's going to be end of week. Right before that, we're dealing with a 29-degree Uranus in Taurus with Venus right next to it, also in 29 degrees Venus, Taurus, okay? I don't have one in this English channel, but in my Spanish channel. So if you speak Spanish, go to my Spanish channel. But maybe I should do one for this English channel. Let me know in the comments if you want one. I did a whole video on just the 29th degree, which is the anaretic degree. It's a critical degree in astrology. If you have it in your chart for a planet or an angle or an asteroid or anything else, it is a master degree because it's the last degree of that sign. It's going to put you to the test. It's going to ask a lot of things of you to make sure that you've learned all the stuff that you need to learn within that sign, from that planet in that sign. So we're going to be tested in our worthiness, value, anything that we still need to change within our finances, our personal value, the things that we value ourselves, because all of these are themes both of Taurus and Venus, which is right there as well, making this conjunction. Okay. So think about all those things on Wednesday and Thursday. Think about anything else that you need to really shift when it comes to your worthiness, when it comes to what you value as a person, your core values, which are so crucial and important when it comes to how you live your life, the people you choose as your partner, your the business that you choose and what that business stands for, and the kind of business that you want to bring as a service and offer to the world. All of that needs to be based on your core values. All of that is going to be a point of question midweek, this week of April 20th. Okay. It's a great place, a great moment, a great time for you to maybe do some journaling about that. This is Wednesday, Thursday. Okay. After that, wow, Gemini, Venus steps into Gemini on Friday the 23rd. And shortly after that, Saturday, Sunday, depending where you are in the world, Uranus steps into Gemini for the next 7 to 8 years. Okay. Now we're in what I was saying, the age of AI. You cannot get away from ChatGPT and everything. I know before a few years when it first started a few years ago, and it was just chat maybe, OpenAI before all the Claudes and the Geminis and all the other iterations of everything that now we have as multiple AI-based apps or websites or tools. People were skeptical. They were like, well, I don't know. I was even like, well, I don't know if I should use. I was one of the early adopters, users, because as a coach, I wanted to be trained on it so that I could leverage it for business purposes. But I was skeptical. And I was like, well, I don't know, there's all the information that's going to go in there. As a former journalist, writer, as a print journalist before, easy going from asking questions for media purposes to asking questions to get people's truths out as a coach and to take them to the places where they need to go to achieve their stuff and to heal and all this stuff. I was like, well, I'm not sure. Now I know exactly where to leverage AI and where I don't want it to participate in my life. And I think that's the point where we're going to get to with Uranus and Gemini. All the tools that make things in our lives faster, because that's Gemini energy is fast. Okay. Uranus, which rules Aquarius, it's lightning fast. It's before and after. It's innovation. It's change. It's surprises. It's shock. In the sign of Gemini, which is like a mini Aquarius, okay? Uranus rules Aquarius in the zodiac. And stepping into Gemini, it is just like, I can move. Okay. It's been in Taurus where it's been like this. And if changes were made, it was difficult changes. And so now it's not like, oh, well, maybe Bitcoin, is it going to work or not? Maybe AI. No. This is the world we live in now. And this is the world that you get to make decisions in as to how you're going to live your life. Okay. And I don't know. I'm not saying this is the time where it's going to be like Neuralink or nothing. I don't know. We don't know. And we also get to participate and make these decisions also by voting with our wallets, voting with our voices. We make decisions, we choose, we participate, okay, and many other things. Anyway, all right. So that's Saturday, Sunday. Uranus steps into Gemini for the next 7 to 8 years. And the beautiful thing about this too is that, and I think I mentioned in the last video, there's a collaboration. There's a little beautiful triangle, 2 sextiles and 1 trine, taking place between Neptune in Aries, okay, Pluto in Aquarius, and now, I mean, it was before by degree, by now it's by sign and element, Uranus and Gemini. So you've got the fire and you've got two air signs. And these are trine, this is sextile. This whole thing is collaborating. It's like buddying up. It's like, let's go. And if you're a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, if you're an air sign, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, you are going to feel like you are empowered to your next level. This is your next level moment. All of these fire signs and air signs are going to feel it. Of course, if you also have ascendant or moon, one of the luminaries in one of these signs, you're also going to feel it very strongly. Now, don't come at me, earth signs and water signs, because remember, in your chart wheel, you have all of these energies. So look at the houses in which you have fire signs. Aries, what's your Aries house? What's your Leo house? What's your Sagittarius house? And look at your air houses. What's your Gemini house? What's your Libra house? What's your Aquarius house? These are the areas that are going to be really empowered. Now, of course, remember, if you know astrology really, really deeply and well beyond just your sun sign or your ascendant or horoscopes, which by the way are not true horoscopes, you have to look at where everything falls exactly by degree in your chart. I will give you an example as to why I am really insisting on this in a minute. If you know how to do this, maybe I should do a tutorial free for you guys and a video on how to do this, even though there's so many resources already on how to do this. But let me know in the comments if you would want one. I have one in my Spanish channel. Um, if you know how to do this, you have to find the degree, like the beginning degrees and where this falls. Because if you have a house that, like my first house, for example, in my chart, right? You have 12 houses in your chart. First house, Sagittarius begins the house, but it is at the last degree. So the remaining of the house is really Capricorn. So if I say, oh yeah, my first house is Sagittarius, but the planet is, in a beginning degree, not an ending degree, then it's not going to fall in there. Okay. And maybe I just need to do a tutorial for you guys to illustrate this really, really well. I don't want to confuse anybody that doesn't know degrees and doesn't know how to look into a chart and place transits in there. But I will tell you this. When I was recording this video, the day before I was supposed to do the recording, and the day before was the moon was in Aries. And I was like, well, the moon's already in Aries, and this whole new moon thing, it's all, I've been talking about all this energy that's coming in and action, Jackson, and I've been feeling it, and it's good. Why am I feeling like I don't want to do any recordings today? I'm just feeling cozy, and I just want to like bundle up, and it's overcast weather here in Cali, which is rare because it's always sunny. And, but, that kind of weather makes me just want to bundle up and just cozy up and just, I don't know, marathon Scrubs 2001, right? Zach Braff. And I'm like, why? I looked at my chart, and of course, the moon had not stepped into, it wasn't the end of the degrees, it was in the beginning degrees. And it was in my fourth house of home and family. So had I not known to look for exact degree where the moon is placed in my chart, and there's apps for this too, guys. I would have been like, well, it's supposed to be my fifth house. That's my Aries house of, creativity. No, that was today. And that's why I'm filming today. Because when that moon crossed from the fourth to the fifth house, I kid you not, I felt a surge of energy. I started getting ideas. The motivation kind of came back. And this is why I am filming today. Today. Moon activating the fifth house of creativity, and I'm just like, woo, here I am. It's my fifth house, creativity. It's, show up online. It's the fifth house is giving love. So this is why I'm kind of like, when people say, well, horoscope by sun or ascendant, no. A transit happens, check your chart to where that is exactly by degree and sign. If you don't know how to do this, and if you want me to do a tutorial for this, do a video for this, let me know in the comments and I will do one for you. Okay? So, last thing I'm going to say is that this Gemini, this major move that this big planet is doing, stepping from Taurus into Gemini, Uranus in Gemini 2026, huge deal. one of the big deals of the year. It's a big deal here for so many planets. Happening Saturday, Sunday will also happen with Pluto squaring the sun. So Pluto is going to be at 5 degrees Aquarius, and the sun by Saturday, Sunday is going to be 5 degrees of Taurus. And these two signs make a square, which is a challenging aspect in astrology. So at the point of transformation, at the point of authenticity, at the point of new you, okay, true you, core you, grounding that, that's where you're going to feel maybe a little bit of a push. This is temporary. The sun moves quickly, okay? And so you'll feel it maybe Saturday, you'll feel it maybe Sunday, maybe you're feeling it Monday, and it's just a little bit of like, you know, maybe innovation slows down a little bit, maybe market finances, you have to revisit your strategies, maybe how you spend your money, maybe, you know, who you claim to be in terms of your authenticity and your true self. All that might be a little bit challenged by this. But overall, because this Pluto, even though it's being challenged by this square, this Pluto is actually in this beautiful triangle, this beautiful help, 2 sextiles and a trine with these other really strong planets that are going to stay there for a long time. This is kind of a minor thing, right? So what you're going to be feeling with the sun, you're just one of those, kind of like when the moon is like, oh my gosh, why do I feel like cleaning my house? Well, the moon's in Virgo. That's going to happen. It's going to last you about a day and a half maybe, because the moon moves 2.5 days between signs and between the ending and the beginning. Maybe you felt it in the middle, okay? So the most important thing is this Uranus and Gemini energy. Venus is also stepping into Gemini and hanging out there with Uranus for a little bit. Venus obviously moves very quickly, so it's going to hang there, and then it's going to do its thing. Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday, it's going to hang there, and then it's going to move on. So love becomes lighter, finances become lighter, actions get more deliberate this week. Plan, evaluate, enjoy. Don't forget to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Especially if you've been taking action with Aries season, please enjoy the fruits of your labor. That is Taurus energy, pleasure, enjoyment. Treat yourself 2026 to a lovely meal, whether you cook it yourself or have somebody else cook it for you, with all the love in the world, or you go out and you enjoy with someone, okay? Do that, especially with Venus and Gemini. You want to be networking, you want to be with people. You know, this Uranus and Gemini energy is also really fantastic for social networking. So, you know, maybe you reactivate your social media. That's what I'm doing as well. I haven't been on social media in a very, very, very long time. And social media is going to be activated. So I'll see you maybe on Instagram or Facebook or one of those. It's a time to connect. Uranus and Gemini is asking people to reconnect with each other. Okay? Might be light connections. So check those, because during Taurus season, with this Gemini ingresses, Venus and Uranus, you have a chance to leverage the energy of what feels grounded and true and real and valuable to you, along with speed and connection and socializing. Okay, so leverage both. Leverage both. Maybe make a number of connections. Maybe go, I don't know, maybe it's the time you start on the dating apps again. And you connect, but you feel into it. You understand your core values, because on, you know, Wednesday, Thursday, you worked on your core values. You understand what it is that truly matters to you, and you base your decisions on that. And again, you've got this, you know, quick triangle too between the mind, the action, and the discipline. And so you will be able to decide according to what's truly, truly worth it, worth your time, worth your energy, worth your interaction, worth, you know, just really spending some time into, okay? There you have it. That is your week in astrology. You know, you can always email me at maril@marilsalispaz.com. All my links and information are down below for you to book your astrology reading, whether it's solar return to see the theme of the year, or your birth chart analysis to see your soul purpose, your ideal career, how you do work when you do work, you know, connections between synastry, connections between you and some other person, be it a child, you know, parent and child, synastry charts are fantastic so that you can help the child really, really leverage their strengths, or just do your own birth chart so that we can look at what your strengths are and what your purpose is here, what you came here to do, what your soul is asking of you, and why it equipped you and designed you in the particular way that it designed you and gave you all the tools that it gave you, so that you don't feel like you are lost or overwhelmed, or what's up with me that everyone seems to be doing this thing and I don't seem to find the thing. That's okay. There's certain cycles in your life, 37 years, no, second nodal return, 42nd year of life, Uranus opposition, 50th year of life, your Chiron return, where you start to question, even 20, 28, 29, 30, which is your Saturn return, where you start to question, and these are points of maturity, and you start to say, okay, am I doing the thing that I really came to do? Am I being the person that I am at my core, most authentic, meant to be? Or do I have a bunch of conditioning that I need to just really let go of so that I can live to my highest potential and be the happiest person that I can be? What is my purpose? What did I come here to do? Who am I? All of these questions can be answered during a session. And also, of course, I'm a coach, so I can accompany you on the journey of taking you from point A after we've discovered all of this stuff and we know where you need to head. How do we get there and get there without stress and overwhelm and without burnout to achieve that which you came to achieve? It's a beautiful process, and I'm here to help you with it, through it, and together we can do it in a beautiful partnership and collaborative way. Okay, I'm sending you so much love. Have a beautiful week of April 20th. Leverage all this energy to go with the current instead of against it, and to use the energy in a way that is going to help you be who you came to be on this planet. Okay, so much love, and I'll see you on the next video.